Hi, I'm Shay. I decided to join this program because I was looking for guidance so where I wasn't so confused on, everything out there is these fad diets or these exercise and they're all cookie cutter and I wanted something more for me, um, and not just to help with, diets and exercise, but like the mental side of everything.
Yeah, awesome. And what do you feel like was the biggest thing holding you back or like keeping you from where you wanted to go before you started the program?
Confusion, everything coming at me was, one thing would say, do X, but then something else would say do Y. And there were so many things that like contradicted themselves and so much confusion that every time I tried to do any kind of like research for myself, I was getting so many different answers. I didn't know what to do. Like I just kind of went like, okay, I'm done.
Okay. And so how has our program helped you to kind of break through that and overcome that?
Laying it out in a super simple way helped a lot. And not just that, but breaking it down to where it wasn't just like here's everything you're doing all at once. It was like slow steps moving forward, which was really hard at first. But you kept telling me trust the process, just go through it, like it's for a reason. And as I got through more and more, I'd see little changes here and there, and that like helped me keep going. So that was a huge thing for me was remembering trust the process.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so many people are the same way. It's like, can't we just like get this going? Come on. Um, Let's see. So what specific results have you seen since joining the program? So from like a mental and emotional standpoint, but also from, it's like a physical standpoint, your food, your exercise, that sort of thing.
So, mental and emotional, I've noticed that I'm able to like come down quicker. Um, I have that mental clarity. I'm doing me time, which is huge. It's super, super huge. I don't like before, like me time was not a thing. But now that I have it, I'm taking care of myself, so I'm able to give and be there for others more. Um, with the exercise side of it, I'm lifting heavier weights, which is awesome, especially in my arms. I used to be able to only curl like 10-pound weights, and now I can go to the 15s. And I think here soon I'm gonna try the 20s. I'm gonna push that. Um, and the food side of it, I've noticed like my body doesn't want the gross, like it doesn't want processed foods. It doesn't want fast food. Um, we'll take this for example. The other day we stopped at Taco Bell, and Taco Bell's my favorite. And I looked at everything on the menu and went, no, thank you. So just like little changes, like my body wants like healthy foods. Like we talked about, hummus and cucumbers are my favorite snack, and never in my life did I think I would eat that.
That's awesome. I love it. Changes you never thought you'd see. So
Yes.
why overall would you say that this program's been life-changing for you?
Because kind of like what I said before, it breaks it down into simple steps. It's not like a yo-yo thing of, oh, you're gonna do this. Nope, just kidding, you're gonna do this, or like a jump all in. They say it takes 28 days to build a habit, and you can't do these giant things because then it turns into a not an I want to do, it turns into a I have to do. But when you start doing these things as just little things, as you go, they eventually turn into, because they become so normal and they're so small, it's not some drastic change in your routine. It turns into a I get to do, I want to do. um, the really great example is the me time thing. We started off of, we were like, hey, 5 minutes of me time, just do it every day. And the water one was a bigger thing too, of drinking water every day. And when I knew it was a goal I needed to hit, and I would just try it and just kept going and kept going, and eventually it turned into a like, hey, I get to go do this, and then I get to check it off my list because woohoo. So when you take the time to go through everything, and learning like what are good foods, what are bad foods, like, hey, let's have more of this and less of this. Try this instead of this. Just the little tweaks makes it easier. because it's not some giant shock to your system. It slowly builds it over time. And then in addition to that, it's not just a, hey, go do this because I said so. You would take the time to explain why each little thing was being done and what benefit came from it, which makes it easier to want to achieve, because it's not just a, go eat a carrot because I said so. It's like, no, hey, if you fill this, like your diet, with this instead of this, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more clarity, you're going to have, like, this is going to be processed better than this. And so having that education behind it as well is super huge.
So it's more empowering, essentially. It's like you have the knowledge to empower yourself to make healthy choices.
Yeah, and it becomes that, it becomes a choice instead of a, like, instead of a directive. Because not once did you say, like, hey, Shay, don't do this or go do this. You simply just said, like, hey, if you want to feel better, try this instead of this. Like, hey, you might want to have this instead of this. You know, like, even with the me time thing, you're like, hey, I'm going to tell you to do me time, but this is why. And you made it seem like it was me making the choice to better myself instead of just some direction from you.
Awesome. Awesome. And who would you say this program is for, and why?
Anybody who wants to, I'm going to say anybody who wants to change their life, but they have to have that drive. It can't be like I said, it's not some cookie cutter. They're going to hand you something and say, go. Like, you actually have to put in the work, but there are rewards when you put in the work. Um, for anybody who wants to feel better, I mean, yes, the perk of, like, losing weight and being healthy is great, but the biggest thing is, like, feeling better, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. So
Awesome.
moms, working women, everybody needs to be in this program.
Yeah.
I'm already telling so many people about it.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then the last question I like to ask, because a lot of times people get hung up on like the investment in the program. What would you say in terms of the investment and the value received, like that you actually receive in the program? Like, is that worth it?
Yes. Yeah. And I get, nowadays, like, everybody's so hung up on investment and money. I get it. Trust me. A parent here, I get it. But it's, you're taking time to invest in yourself. So give up those lattes you get from Starbucks every morning, give those up. Which, that's another thing. So I used to drink those, like, every morning, and now instead of coffee, I want green tea. Like, that's another change I never thought would happen. I'm just like, I crave green tea instead of coffee. Um, but, like, give up those things. If you go out and, like, buy makeup every weekend, stop. Like, this program will get you feeling so much better, where you're not gonna, like, feel like you need that all the time. You're gonna start feeling better, and it's for yourself. It's another investment in yourself.
Awesome. And what would you tell someone that's like on the fence about joining the program?
Give it a try. Um, what is that whole saying of, you can't win if you don't play? Like, just do it. I mean, worst case is you walk away with a bunch of knowledge that you can incorporate yourself. Best case is you have this solid game plan and this solid foundation to just, like, rock the rest of your life.
Awesome.